reporting for KD Chats here in downtown Toronto with the award-winning writer and director Peter Wellington. How did you initially get into the business?
I got into the business as a way to appease my mother's desire for me to get some kind of post-secondary education, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I thought that, you know, writing and making movies would feel like it's film school is sort of like school, so I went for that reason.
Has it been what you expected it to be?
Often, sure. The business isn't what I would have expected to be. I'm astonished I'm even involved in the business aspect, and but you know, the working on it is pretty much how I expected it to be.
You've directed tons of television, and you've written and directed features,
yeah,
and you've won many awards. How has it felt to be recognized for your work?
It's felt pretty good to be recognized for my work. In fact, if I had no recognition at all for my work, I'd probably be starting to get a little upset about that by now. After 20 years, it would be probably difficult to still be working if I didn't get any. So, you know, I mean, at the same time, getting awards and stuff like that is strangely anticlimactic. You know, I've lost awards and you hate it. When you win awards, you're nervous that you have to make a speech, and I hate public speaking, so for a while you kind of wish you didn't win until the speech is over.
Absolutely. And you have a film, Cottage Country, coming out soon. What was the inspiration behind the making of that film?
Well, that was a job that I got. I didn't write the script. The script was written by Jeremy Boxon, very good writer. He lives here in town, works on Lost Girl, and I think he still does. And so I got a call from the producer, Frank Siracusa, and he said, take a look at this thing. And I thought, and as soon as I started reading it, I said, this is really, really great. And I read a lot of scripts, and most of them are no good at all, and some of them are okay, and this one was obviously ready to go. Mm-hmm. And so I just hoped I got the gig. I did, and then it was just a matter of trying to find a way to make a kind of a comedy about the Macbeths, which is sort of what it's like. They get in over their head. They have to kill somebody for pretty semi-admirable reasons, and then they have to kill a whole bunch more people gradually in order to cover up the original crime, and we had to make it funny.
Mm-hmm. How do you find making something so gory or violent funny? Was that challenging? How do you approach it?
Bugs Bunny. Is what we did. That was our muse. We said Bugs Bunny's violent and funny. So I didn't tell the actors to behave like Looney Tunes characters, but we just thought that, you know, if we made the violence slapstick, then it would be funny. Mm-hmm. So we at the same time we didn't want people to know it was funny. It was supposed to be funny right away. It had to be a surprise. It's a weird tone for that reason, because it starts out as a kind of a Judd Apatow-y looking family conflict, two brothers who don't get along, and their girlfriends who don't get along, and that would have been a fine movie. And it proceeds that way with all kinds of plot twists until guy kills his brother with an axe, and then the story changes quite a bit. Obviously, and then it changes a bit more because some more people got to go. Yeah.
How did everything go on set? Did you guys have fun making the film?
Yes, we did have fun making the film. It's always fun to make a film like this. We had Malin Ackerman, who is this character actor in a leading lady's face and body, but she is a brilliant comic performer, and Tyler Labine is obviously a brilliant brilliant comic performer, and they were fun to work with. We wanted the movie because it was supposed to have a nice, again, Judd Apatow kind of pleasant look to it, to have, you know, it takes place in this beautiful up in Muskoka cottage country, and we shot it during the autumn with the leaves changing, and would have been great if it didn't rain almost continually for the entire show. So we had to put up big lights and and then do things with, in post-production to make North Sea weather looked like it was sort of sunny. So that was, it was too bad to be sticking to the mud all the time for 23 days. And we walked, and I still think of that, and I think I still have mud stains on my clothes from that.
When you watch the film, is that all you can think of?
I wish that we had better weather, yeah. Sometimes we couldn't dig it out. Sometimes it looks a little bit like the Bronte sisters wrote it, and it shouldn't look like that, and then that's what happened.
And you also worked with Sarah Polley on Luck a few years ago now, and you did very well critically. What was that whole experience like?
Well, I met Sarah when we first worked together, even earlier than that, on another critically acclaimed. I say that because none of these things shattered any box office records, but a really legitimate movie, did very well in the festival circuit, won a couple of awards and stuff like that, called Joe's So Mean to Josephine. Sarah played Josephine. She was 16 years old when we shot that. And then I continued to, we worked again on Luck, and then we worked again after that on Slings and Arrows. So when I met her, I hadn't seen her career as an actress, so I wasn't amazed that I was working with a star. So I only know her. I know now she's a star in a whole other, in her own right as a director. I don't know her that way, so I just think of her as being really, really bright and really, really funny and a really good actor. So that.
And tell me a little bit about your upcoming project that you're working on.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to write a script called The Talking Picture, which is it's very different from Cottage Country insofar as it has nothing whatsoever to do with that style. It's literally people talking about whether or not the world is getting worse every year for during an Oscar party. So there's 15 people, and they're talking, and maybe there's a home invasion.
Is this based on a true story?
It's based on a lot of true stories. We use real people's names and talk about real things in the world, and then there's a home invasion with guns and stuff. But that doesn't change the movie as much as you might think. They leave, and people keep talking. It's called The Talking Picture because that used to be the first, as some younger people may not know, that's what they called the movies when sound first was invented. So really it's another way of saying movie. But really what it's about is, and you know, film is a visual medium. So how am I going to justify the fact that all this is going to be about 15 people in a somewhat spread out house in little groups of people talking. It sounds like a terrible idea. The only way I'm going to be able to get people interested in it is if I just admit it. So that's the title.
Great. And where can we find out more information on you and on Cottage Country and on your work online?
Oh, geez, I don't have much of a social media presence. That's a tough one.
IMDb, maybe?
IMDb, yeah. Wikipedia will be very brief. Though the best thing to do is to, maybe if Cottage Country hits, then there'll be way more stuff about me then. And of course, so basically, if you support Cottage Country, then I will become more successful, and it'll be easier to dig out information about me.
Thank you so much, Peter. Congratulations on all of your success, and best of luck with your upcoming projects.
Thank you very much, Katie.
I'm Katie Allman reporting for Katie Chats here in downtown Toronto.